What's up, everybody? I'm playing Deer Hunting Camp. I'm gonna go into Map Builder and build a map. I've seen some people having trouble doing this, so I thought I'd make a little video on it. So here's all the existing properties that you're gonna have. PSR Fields, PSR Mountains, PSR Pines, PSR Woods. These are all the ones that I've made. So we're gonna go back here and you're gonna go to New Property. You're gonna name it whatever you want. Let's do Iowa. So then you pick what terrain you want. Mountainous terrain, ravine terrain, ridgetop terrain, plateau terrain, or rolling plains terrain. I'm just gonna go with rolling plains terrain. So once you're in this screen, I'm gonna go to Terrain Builder and I'm gonna highlight the whole entire map. And I'm gonna go over to Terrain Topography Amplitude. And you have a bar right here, it slides. All the way down is flat. For Iowa, I'm gonna make that flat, so you go to Update. If it was all the way up, it'd be big giant hills. So I'm gonna go to Update. And then Clear Brush. Boom, so that's what it looks like. Okay, then I'm gonna go back. Now, I'm gonna go to Early Fall Preview and I'm gonna look at what the terrain looks like. Boom, it's all flat. Dead flat. So once you like what your terrain looks like, back out. Then you're gonna go to Terrain Texture. Right now it's all pine needles. I don't want it to be pine needles. I'm gonna go with leaves. So I'm gonna highlight the whole entire map with leaves. And I'm gonna go to Update. Clear Brush. So now the whole ground is leaves. So I'm gonna do a wet ground. I'm gonna go over to brush size and I'm gonna change my brush size to smaller. And I'm gonna make this corner a swamp. So I'll highlight wherever I want. And then I'm gonna go over to Update. Clear Brush. So as you can see, it changed colors. Now that is wet ground. Now I'm gonna do forest roots. Highlight this area over here. I'm gonna go to Update. And then clear. So as you can see, it changed colors. Then I'm gonna put a couple food plots in, go change the food plots. Put one right here, and I'm gonna do one right here. Update. Clear Brush. So as you can see, this changed the food plots. Okay, then you can put roads and trails in. If you want to do roads and trails, you got to go to your brush size and make it all the way down. That would be good for the roads and trails. We'll put one of those in right now, I guess. Go down to your house down here, your lodge. I'm gonna make a trail. Boom, Update. Clear. Okay. Now I'm gonna do trees. I'm gonna go to large trees and I'm gonna click on whatever tree I like. I'm gonna do red oaks and I'm gonna change my brush size to however big, and I'm gonna highlight this area. whatever area I want. Highlight this area. And as you can see, it says size for placed objects, spacing of placed objects, and variable tilt. The size, I want mature oaks, so I'm gonna leave that there. And then for spacing, I want them pretty spaced out, so I'm gonna make this bar 3/4 of the way down. I don't want any tilt in them. Boom, update. So as you can see, there's little white dots now. Those are all the trees that it just placed down. If you want more, you just press update again. Okay. Now, you can either do clear brush, and now you have to re-highlight it if you want to place more things down there. Or you can leave that highlighted how you had it, and instead of doing clear brush, you can go to thick spruce, and I'm going to put thick spruce trees in there. Okay, I went to update, and it just placed a bunch of thick spruce trees. I'm going to go back. I'm going to do saplings. I want some beech saplings in there. Go to beech saplings. Go over here. I want them to be fully sized. I want them to be well spaced. And I'm going to go to update property. I want more. Update property. I want more. Update property. Okay, I think that's good for that section. But you don't just want leaves on the ground, you want some type of grass. So I'm going to go back, do grass and foliage, and I'm going to do short grass here. I'm going to go to spacing and make it all the way down so the grass is right next to each other. Update, 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 update. That's good for that section. That's a decent amount of grass. Clear brush. So this whole section right here is now oaks and thick spruce with some beech saplings and grass. And if we go back, I can go to early fall preview. I can get my side-by-side, and I can drive over to the area that I just made. As you can see, there's oak trees and thick spruce trees, and then some beech saplings. Exactly what I want, a little oak flat. Okay, that's how I want it, so I'm gonna back out. Now, I wanna do a different area and make the rest of the map what I want. So now I'm gonna go over to this swamp, and I'm gonna highlight it. Whoa, you gotta change the brush size. Change my brush size, highlight this. And I'm gonna make this swamp really thick. So I'm gonna back out. I'm gonna go to saplings, and I'm gonna go to cedar saplings. I'm gonna go to spacing of the objects, and I want them shortly spaced. I want them right next to each other. I'm gonna go to update, update, update. Maybe I want some more. Update. Okay, back out. Now I'm gonna go to grass, thick grass. Update, 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 update. Back out. I'm gonna go to stumps, rocks and deadfalls. Hardwood deadfall. I'll space these out a little bit. I want them fully sized. Update. Now you can see it just placed hardwood deadfalls right there. I want some tall stumps. Click on tall stumps, update. I think that's good. Clear. Back out. Now you can see I just clicked on large trees. There is no large trees anywhere on the map but right here. So you got to add more. Highlight the areas you want. Go inside of the swamp. Go around the food plots. I'm gonna make that area right there. I'm gonna put thick spruce trees in there. Update. I'm gonna do thin spruce trees. Update. Back out. Go to grass and foliage. grass patches or short grass, thick grass, whatever you want. Do grass patches, update, 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 update. Back out. Let's say I want some saplings in there, fir saplings, do that, update, update, back out. Okay, I think that area is good, so you can clear brush, or you can just use L2 and delete what you want. But I'm going to go to clear brush. The big thing you guys want to make sure that you do is on the outside of the map, highlight the outside of the map and make it all thick trees, so it looks real. If not, it's just going to look like a dead opening. So highlight that, go to thick spruce or whatever you want. Update, 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 update. Get a bunch of them in there. Thin spruce. Update, 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 update. And then you can add grass and whatever else you want. Clear brush. So now I'm going to back out. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to large trees. I'm going to go to tall smooth bark or whatever else you want. And I'm going to make a different area. I'm going to do over here behind this food plot. If you get some trees or anything in the food plot, it doesn't matter. You can, I'll show you how to get rid of those in a second. But I'm going to make this area all tall smooth bark. Go down to update, update, just place tall smooth bark. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to saplings. I'm going to go to some beech trees, update. Okay, now I'm going to go back, go to deadfalls. I'm going to go to hardwood deadfalls, update, update. I'm going to go back to grass, go thick grass, update, 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 update. Clear brush. So now that section's done. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to go to early fall preview, and I'm going to check and make sure everything that I've done so far is good. So as you can see, that's the perimeter outside the fence. There's a fence right here. That's my outside where I did all the spruce trees all the way around. So I'm going to get in here. I'm going to drive over to my swamp over here that I did, and this other section. I'm going to check all this out. So this is that tall smooth bark section I did. Just follow your guy. I'm going to go all the way to my food plot. Or my, sorry, not the food plot, the swamp. So as you can see, the ground's wet now in here. And it's a swamp. And they will bed, they're going to find the thickest place on the property to bed. So if you make a thick area like this, or even more honestly, they're going to bed there. So I'm going to back out. And you're just going to do this process over and over again until you get what you like. I'm going to go over to brush size. I'm going to make back here really thick and give them a good place to bed back in the swamp. I'm going to go back to saplings, and I'm going to go to cedar saplings. Put a bunch of them in there. And you can put whatever else you want. Tall grass, hardwood deadfalls, anything. So I like that, so I'm going to go to clear brush. Now, as you can see, there's no white dots in there. That just means that I don't have any trees, any large trees in there. So if you want to put some, you can. You just re-highlight what you want and do that. Okay, as you can see, there are trees inside my food plot. So I'm going to go over to brush mode and go to remove. Then I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to Terrain Builder, and I'm going to go down to Food Plots, and that will highlight my food plots. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to Large Trees, and any large tree that we put in that area, you have to click on. So we put Tall Smooth Bark. I'm going to click on Tall Smooth Bark, and it's on Remove, and I'm going to go to Update. And as you can see, it just deleted all of the trees or grass or anything that was just in there. If I want to do the grass, you got to go back to grass. As you can see, there's a bunch of grass in there. I can't remember what it was, but it might have been short grass, whatever. Update. It wasn't short grass. Thick grass, update. Boom, removed all the grass out of there. Clear brush. So now that's clear, your food plots are good. So now I'm going to go back to large trees. I'm going to highlight this whole map. I'm going to do whatever I want in any area. You got to play around with it, get creative. I'm going to do a bunch of oaks and whatever else I want. Boom, update. Oops, sorry, I added on remove. Go to add, update, update. As you can see, it only placed a few in there. It's because my spacing is too much. If your spacing is too much, it'll only place a few trees in a certain area. So I want my spacing to go down. You can see it just placed a bunch more. That area is not good. I have to place grass and whatever else, but I'm not going to do that right now. I think you guys kind of get the point. Clear brush. Once you're finished putting all the things that you want in, you can go to large trees. It will show you where all the large trees that you have on your map are. You can go to saplings. It'll show you where all the saplings you put on your map are. Stumps, rocks, deadfalls, all that shows you how many, where they are. And then grass and foliage shows you what your grass and foliage looks like. So that's all my grass. It's just different types of grass that I put in different areas. So then you're going to go to early fall preview again. We're going to check out our map. You look around, there's my trail right there. And this is my map. So I can walk around and make sure everything looks how I want it to look. Got a little open section here with cut down trees. Got an oak flat over here. There's my food plot. Okay. So I like this property. I'm gonna back out. Now a little hint. I like to make the corners of the map. Change your brush size. I like to make the corners of the map kind of thick. I mean, it depends on the map, but I kind of like to make them thick so it creates bedding areas in the corners. And then you can put your food wherever. They're going to relate to it however they feel is necessary, however the game is programmed for them to do it. It's the most realistic hunting game I've ever played. It definitely feels like you're deer hunting and you have to actually choose the right spots to set up. Otherwise you won't get a chance at shooting that buck. So I like the map. I'm going to back out and then I'm going to back out. Okay, it saved that property. So now I'm going to go to campaign. I'm going to go to, you can only have 3 campaigns at one time, so I'm going to delete one of mine. And I'm going to go to new campaign. I'm going to name it Iowa. I'm going to scroll all the way down to Iowa map that we just made. You're going to select how many archery hunts you want for the season. Let's do 4. Black powder hunts, let's do 1, and then do 1 gun season. Confirm. Go to resume campaign, click on Iowa. Okay, it says manage property, scouting, archery hunt, archery hunt, archery hunt, archery hunt, black powder. So, archery is the early fall. You can call bucks in during that time, but they're not as receptive to the calls. They're more predominantly on the food. The black powder season, that's the rut. So they'll make scrapes, they'll make rubs, they'll come into the calls looking to fight. It's pretty cool. And then your winter is the rifle. So they're going to be heavy on food and strict to their bedding areas in the thick cover. It's pretty cool. So I'm ready to go. So I'm going to go to Enter Woods. I'm going to get over here. I want one to be cornfield and one to be soybeans. So I'm going to load up my corn right here. I'm going to load up a stand onto my side-by-side, and I'm going to drive over to one of my food plots. Once you get to your food plot, you're going to press plant, and it's planting. Drive around your food plot. Boom, plant it. You'll be able to see the seed where it just planted. You can see the ground change colors right there. That's all the seed that I just put down. So now I'm going to put a stand up. I'm going to drive over to a tree. I'm going to get out. I'm going to look at the tree, and I'm going to press triangle. I'm going to back my quad up, or my side-by-side. I'm going to go back up to the stand. And if you get close, it'll say press triangle, and you can climb the stand. And I can look around to what I can see. I like it. I'm going to get down. I'm going to put a trail camera right here. I'm going to switch over to my trail cameras. Boom, I'm going to put a trail camera down. I'm going to finish planting my food plot, and then the spot's good. So once you're done planting your food plots, you don't have to place your trail cameras down or your stands on the manage property day. You can do it on the scouting day. So once you're done planting, I'm going to get out. I'm going to press the pause button. I'm going to go to exit. I'm going to go to advance to scouting. You can see it's creating the heat maps for the feeding areas, the bedding areas, their travel routes. So once you get back to this screen, you're going to go to resume, go back to your map, go to Enter Woods. Okay, so now you pull up your map. There's going to be these little brown trails going all over the map. Those are the deer trails that the deer have made. It does not mean that the deer are only going to use those. They'll use the whole map if it's suitable to their travel, if it's comfortable for their travel, it seems like. So let's say I have a real open section. They're most likely going to avoid that section, but not all the time. But this just gives you a base of where the deer are moving through your property. So you can now grab your stands and your trail cameras and go set up on those trails or wherever you want. But now you have an idea of kind of how the deer are using the property that you just made. So once all that's done, back out and go to advance to hunting. Once you get back to this screen, go to resume campaign, click on your campaign, click what bow you want, compound, click what hunt you want. I'm going to do an evening hunt. Now on the left hand side of the screen, it's going to show you how many ladder stands you placed, how many trail cameras you placed, how much food plots, how much acreage of food plots you placed, and then it shows you how many deer you've killed. So we haven't killed any deer yet, so now I'm gonna go on my first hunt. Hopefully this video helped you guys. Thanks for watching.